Pitiful organic life forms, kneel before your obvious superior, for I, Metal Sonic, am here to express my outrage. 8 years ago, Sonic Team created a game with so many pitiful appeals to that useless human emotion, nostalgia, that it made me wish I was capable of retching. But they did not cast me! Instead, they chose to give my incompetent little brother, Metal Knuckles, a role as a level boss. In fact, they failed to put me in any of the Sonic Advance games. So, I will force you all to acknowledge my greatness by reviewing its sequel, Sonic Advance 2. Okay, so the game's intro begins with this panoramic shot of an amusement park or something. I never really got that. And then you start to look at the playable cast, which is Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, Tails, and a newcomer, Cream. Cream the Rabbit. I've seen the doctor wake up in a cold sweat after screaming her name. But we'll get back to her later. The levels themselves are more focused on speed than the first game, even going so far as to start as if they're on a racetrack. There are also new moves like aerial tricks, and Sonic even has his homing attack. So, you can see they've incorporated more from the newer adventure games. As I said, the gameplay is significantly faster than the first Sonic game, but still incorporates many of the old school tricks. Rail sliding is much more common in this game than it was in the previous. And even though the game is much more speed-centered than the previous one, there is still much platforming action to be had. One of Dr. Eggman's most brilliant schemes, of course, was making the special stages almost impossible to access. In order to get them, you had to collect 7 special rings, which were hidden throughout the level. Yes, in order to get into the special stage, you had to collect all 7 at once, without losing a life. It was nearly impossible without the internet. Even with your new groundbreaking attacks. Yes. I have been practicing my evil laugh. So anyway, the game was so speed-centered that there was even a score for being able to stop on cue. But let's move on to Amy Rose. In the previous game, she was more of a challenge play, since she did not spin when she jumped and could not spin dash. In this game, they have much removed her challenge by making her more like a regular character. She can still use her hammer, of course, but she does in fact spin when she jumps. She is also capable of using the ground pound and rail slides and trick actions that Sonic can. And she can finally use her spin dash. Her peel out has a different animation, but the effect is much the same. That is the aesthetic quality that you humans demand of the game developers. Now let us look at Cream the Rabbit, perhaps the greatest warrior ever to come from the series. She is able to fly, and unlike Tails, she can cancel her flights in mid-air. Yes, I cannot comprehend the aerodynamic abilities of a rabbit's ears. But then again, I never understood how the Tails was able to do it either. She also has a unique way of attacking, by sicking her cheese on enemies. She can jump, but why bother when she can just hang back and command him to attack anything in front of her? In fact, look at the final boss. This comes from the security cams on the Death Egg. All she does is stand in one spot and repeatedly command Cheese to attack over and over. In fact, at one point she got so overconfident that she even decided to eat an ice cream cone. Oh, Robotnik would never shut up about this. It was so humiliating for all of us. Naturally, the doctor wanted to find out how this power could be obtained, so he kidnapped his Cream's mother, Vanilla. Well, that's what I think he kidnapped her for anyway. When I inquired, he just said that it had been a while. I'm not sure what he meant by that. But of course, we can never be allowed to do anything that we want, and Sonic just had to use the Chaos Emeralds to come and save the day like he always does. Oh, but Dr. Eggman was very proud of his latest machine. It had an impervious hull so that Sonic could not attack it directly, and even came equipped with weapons capable of removing Sonic's rings, something that had never been seen before. Unfortunately, Dr. Robotnik did not count on Sonic's resourcefulness, and that he would knock the missiles back to the craft, which is how he was able to rescue Vanilla the rabbit. So let's get to the end of the game. Vanilla falls from the sky, Sonic catches her, and that somehow changes things. And then you see the credits, he runs off into the sunset and blah blah blah. So, as you can see, despite lacking me, the Sonic Advance 2 was a very good game, which incorporated classic side-scrolling platforming action with the newer memes from the more current games, such as Sonic Adventure. That is all from me. I will now take my leave and let someone else review the next game.
Hey everyone, just in case you're wondering how I did that Metal Sonic voice, it's a paper towel tube, just an ordinary paper towel tube. I just lowered the timbre of my voice and then spoke into the tube to create a mechanical sounding echo. Perhaps someday I'll have software that will allow me to make myself sound more mechanical, but until then, you'll have this super ghetto way of making special effects. Yes. I don't know if it's gonna sound cool or lame to you, but hey, we all work with what we have.